All right, we are back with all of these cherries we picked at, I'm gonna say the farm wrong again, Braeutigam Orchards. So these are sour cherries, these are pie cherries. If you watched the video of me picking these, I was debating what I was gonna do with canning them because I have a canning recipe for cherry pie filling, but it required 10 pounds and this is only about 7 pounds. So I thought about it and I'm still going to do that cherry canning recipe. It's just gonna make a couple less jars. When you can, you really have to follow the instructions exactly, but it's the sauce that is the most important. It's just from a Ball canning book and it's like sugar and you have to get the right amount of Clear Jel, etc. That I'm gonna follow exactly. It just means when I can it, I'm gonna have a bunch of extra liquid left over. And a couple less jars. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start cleaning these. We're gonna make one fresh cherry pie and we're gonna can the rest. So the first thing is, some of them still have the stems, so I want to rinse them all, take the stems off, and then we will do the long task of de-pitting them. Now, I do not have a cherry de-pitter. You can buy them online. I ordered one, but it's not gonna arrive in time, so we're just gonna do it the old-fashioned way, just like poking them out with a chopstick. And it just takes a little bit longer, but I gotta get this done today and I don't feel like running to the store. So we'll just, do it the old time way when they didn't have fancy devices. I am going to start de-pitting the cherries, and as I de-pit each one, I'm going to put it in this bowl of water. So it's 4 cups water and 1/4 cup lemon juice. It will help prevent the cherries from browning. Cherries don't brown as bad as other fruit like apples and stuff, but they will darken, and so that is why I am going to put them in the lemon juice water mixture. Again, it was 4 cups water, 1/4 cup lemon juice, and it will also help because when I can the cherries for the cherry pie filling, we need to have cherry juice. So by letting, so this liquid, since these have already been cleaned, this liquid will help, I think it's called macerate the cherries, and so it will start making its own cherry juice that I will use in the canning recipe. I'm just watching a little TV as I pit the cherries. I have this plastic chopstick. It's actually pretty easy, maybe because these are small like cherries, but it's pretty easy to pop out the seed with this chopstick. Of course, it would have been nice if I got that cherry pruner in time, but I wonder if it would have been too big because these are pretty small cherries compared to the Washington ones you see at the grocery store. So look how many I got done in like 2 minutes. Really not that hard. Just time consuming, but I find this relaxing, so I don't mind the work at all. All right, these are all the cherries pitted. My husband helped me. It took us about an hour. I'm gonna put these in the fridge now. And later this afternoon, I'm gonna pull out 6 cups for the fresh cherry pie, and the rest I'm gonna leave in the water overnight so they can macerate a little. And then in the morning, I will make the cherry pie filling. Or maybe tonight, I'll keep checking them to see like if it's creating juice or not. You can already tell that this is pink. There's a little piece of schmutz. I will strain out the cherry and the juices before I use it, but it's starting to turn pink, so that's good. And yeah, I gotta run to the grocery store and get some pie crust. I know I could make my own pie crust, but that's a lot of work. I'm just gonna buy some pie crust. All right, here's the cherry pie before I put it in the oven. I'm glad I bought the deep dish Pillsbury pie crust because this is the exact recipe, 6 cups, and it is practically overflowing. I didn't show how I made this. If you're interested, this is a cherry crumble pie. So I have this crumble mixture that I'm gonna put on top. I got it from christineskitchenblog.com. I will link it in the item description if you're curious about her recipe. She's got a very good explanation on her website, so check it out there. I'm gonna put the crumble on and then I'm gonna stick it in the oven. So yeah, I went to this grocery store real quick and got the deep dish. Thank goodness, because I don't know what it would have been too much if I just got the regular old pie crust. All right, I just pulled the cherry pie out of the oven. I am glad I put it on a cookie sheet because it definitely started to bubble over. So I followed the directions exactly. I think it's good. Look at that pink color. That's so cute. And I did the crumble crust, and now I'm gonna put it on a, I don't know, heat pad so I can take it off this cookie sheet so it doesn't cook longer, and let it cool for 2 hours, and then we will cut it open and see what it looks like. So yeah, the instructions say let it sit for 2 hours. I'm just amazed by that pink color. All right, it's been about 3 hours since, or maybe 4, since it came out of the oven. So now we're doing a taste test. It cut really well. That's good.
That's amazing.
Oh my God. That is so good. And I really like the crumble top. Robert gave me the idea for the crumble top. He said, Google a crumble top. He didn't want a regular pie top. I might start doing that from now on for other berry pies because it's really good.
You don't have to put as much sugar in it, I don't think.
Mm-mm. There was like a 1/4 cup of brown sugar in that topping. And then it was flour and oats. So this is my first cherry pie I've ever made. And it is so good. I am so happy with how it turned out. And Robert is extremely happy with how it turned out.
Awesome. They look like little tomatoes, but they taste like cherries.
They did. They look like, they're very light. These are sour cherries. This is Missouri. There's not a lot of places that grow cherries in Missouri. And so out of all the farms in St. Louis, there's only one. And they only had like 8 trees. So it's pretty awesome. I Googled it. First time we've ever done this. I will definitely do this every year from now on. And tomorrow I will get up and can the rest of the cherries because this pie is gonna last us a couple days. So I will can the rest of the cherries. So next time we're in the mood for a pie, I'd rather have them canned than freezer because we do have limited freezer space. Good morning. These are the leftover cherries from our cherry picking adventure yesterday. These have been sitting in the fridge overnight so they can create their own cherry juice. I am going to can them using the Tart cherry pie filling recipe from the Ball canning book. So the recipe actually calls for like 10 pounds of cherries. I do not have 10 pounds of cherries. Probably have 6 pounds left. So but you want to follow the recipe exactly with the other ingredients. So it's going to be 3.5 cups sugar, 1 cup clear gel, 1.5 teaspoon ground cinnamon, and then 1/4 cup lemon juice. I'm going to take all those liquid ingredients and boil them together. You whisk all those ingredients with 4 cups of the liquid, just the liquid. That's why I soak these overnight in water to generate a cherry liquid. So it's going to be 4 cups of the cherry liquid, the sugar, the clear gel, the cinnamon, and the lemon juice. We bring that to a boil, and then we add the cherries and bring that to another boil, and then you can it in the jars. This is all in the Ball canning book. I will have a link down below. And the important thing is in this recipe is you want to use clear gel. Clear gel is kind of like it's a cornstarch, but it's specifically for pies, and you can can it. I don't believe you can can cornstarch safely. So you want to use clear gel. My grocery store doesn't carry this. I got this on Amazon. And I got a lot because I'm making like pecan pies and all kinds of pies. And so this is what you want. You want clear gel. Clear gel is different from pectin. You know, you've got your classic fruit pectin. This is not the same thing. And then, you know, you got your Sure gel in the boxes. This clear gel is completely different. So if you plan on canning like a lot of pie fillings, like, you know, you can make cherry pie fillings in a jar and blueberry pie fillings in a jar, you want some of this clear gel. And you can buy smaller containers, but this was like $8 and I know I'm going to use it, so I got that on Amazon. So and then the lemon juice, you can just use the bottled lemon juice. So let me get started straining out this juice because I need 4 cups of cherry juice. I'm gonna go ahead and use my stock pot. I don't know if I need my big stock pot stock pot, but with 4 cups of liquid, and then eventually you're going to add all the cherries. Better safe than sorry. My regular pot that I love to do all my jams and jellies in, I'm afraid it's too small, and once the mixture starts bubbling, you don't want it to bubble over onto the stove, so I'd rather have a pot that's a little too big. All right, so in this pot, I've got the 4 cups of cherry juice, 3.5 cups of sugar, 1 cup of clear gel, and a 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. And I just whisked it all together, and now I want to bring it to a boil. All right, I added the cherries, mixed it for a couple more minutes till it started bubbling again, and now I am adding it to the jars. I am doing pint jars. You can do quart jars if you want, but since I'm only a family of 2, a pint jar is perfect for us. I will make like a small pie with these. Obviously, if you wanted to make a full pie, you would need 2 pint jars or 1 quart. But since it's just me and my husband, I plan on just doing 1 pint jar, and then make like a little crumble on top and bake it in the oven. So yeah, once we water bath this, they're like pretty much cooked. So when you make the pie, don't quote me on it, I'm gonna have to do a little research, but I think when you make the pie with the cherry pie filling, you don't have to cook it as long as when you're using raw cherries. So I will need to Google that. But yeah, gotta finish these jars while they're still hot. All right, so it made 6 pints, and you have to leave 1-inch head space. And now I'm gonna lower it down, and once it starts boiling again, you water bath it for 35 minutes. Look at these cherry pie filling jars. So they all sealed. They look really good. They kept their color. I'm definitely sure it's because of the lemon juice I used. I read that some people add red food coloring, but I'm like, no, I want it to be natural. So I still think they look pretty darn good. So made 6 pints. Very happy with how they turned out.